All right, everyone, we have fantastic news today, which is the second volume of Morbid Stories is now available. Link in the description. I will pin it at the top, obviously, on YouTube as well. Available on Amazon now. 352 pages of grueling violence and insanity, including the Pirates versus Communists story. Some of you are mentioned in that explicitly, because you has to be. I couldn't work everyone in, but we've got a whole crew of pirates and occultists and goths and weirdos and stuff like that, fighting a bunch of communists on an island over some vegetables that were stolen because communists, as we see with the Chaz Garden, are incapable of growing them. That's the humorous story. That's not really splatterpunk. That's more just me mouthing off. If you want to hear about how Anton turned part of a giant squid into biltong, you might want to read that particular story. Morbid stories, generally, it's 3 pages apiece, and it's in a larger format than I normally use for my works, which is usually 5 by 8, so they're a little bit longer. And I try to compress, basically, the idea of a short story, an event or a series of events, in as few pages as possible. It's just sort of my writing style. It just makes sense. So you can explain more in 3 pages than sometimes you can explain in 100 pages in a novel. It's splatterpunk. So this is beyond horror. If you want to hear about the dude, for example, that has a fetish for cobwebs and gets eaten away by little spiders, well, yeah, you've got that. If you want to hear about Satan and hell and the tormenting of sinners, that's in there too. Also, I worked in another Acts of Charles Manson, which was one of the favorites from the first Morbid stories, among other things. There are different sections. There's a section specifically for stories involving animals. So a lot of butchery and violence and ferocity there. And the filthy folios, that's about perversion. And then you got blasphemy and all of these other things. Basically, it's meant to be a grueling adventure through insanity and evil more than anything else. It's meant to be as decrepit and grotesque as possible. There's a reason for this. Hell, I had to axe half of the entries that I was going to add simply because I ran out of room. Of course, I cap it off with some morbid haikus. Those were thrown in mainly for shits and giggles as opposed to being anything meaningful. I happen to like haiku as a form of poetry. 575. Yeah, 6-7. So yes, you should get a copy. Again, link in the description. If you liked the first Morbid Stories or Sickness in Hell, if you like horror literature, I have a feeling that you're going to like this particular work. So yeah, grab a copy now. It's available on Amazon. And it was very, very fun to write. I can't wait to make the third volume. And there will be a third volume. That's about all. Peace out.